Feedback. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback,
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
And take us along with you. Feedback, feedback, feedback.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard, you liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out, and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
The leader. And we are all the way, we're all the way live anyway. It's not as hot outside as we would hope it would be during the month of May. But we are here and glad you are tuned in to Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. My name is Theo Broughton, co-founder of Hood Research, and my co-host is
Thabiti, and we welcome you to the program.
We thank you so much for being tuned in. And for those of you who helped to sponsor this program, we thank you so very much. And for those of you who are thinking about supporting us, please know that we would like you to make your check or money order out to Hood Research, or if you prefer, you can make it out to WHPR Broadcasting Company. But we would like you to mail it to Hood Research at the post office box, which is 4416 P.O. Box 4416, Detroit, Michigan 48204. Once again, the zip code is 48204. We have a website, hoodresearch.org. We got Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all the bells and whistles. And the telephone number for Hood Research is area code 248-234-2371. Again, that's 248-234-2371. We have so often gone out in the community and had an opportunity to have dialogue with many of you, and we really appreciate that and want you to know that this coming Saturday, Hood Research is going to have a program at the Dabo Center, which is located on Grand River at the corner of Wyoming. The address for the Dabo Center is 12048 Grand River. Again, that's 12048 Grand River on the corner of Wyoming. We will be there from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. And the first part of the meeting this coming Saturday will be about mental health and music. Mental health and music. We want you to come out and participate with us, because there is some music that is throughout our community, throughout our nation, that is brainwashing our young people. Brainwashing our young people. You need to find out as much about it as possible, and we want to talk about solutions against that kind of music. So we want you to know this coming Saturday, 2 p.m. at the Dabo Center on Grand River on the corner of Wyoming. Hello to Errol, and get well soon. Hello to Vera and Barbara, get well soon. Good morning to Ron and to Jay and Dee Dee. We want you to get well soon as well. To Sylvia and to Tom and Who did you see this weekend, Thabiti?
I had a chance to speak with Jackie. She's the quiet neighborhood warrior, and
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate this sister. I won't give your age away, but she's able to communicate with a lot of the young people, and that's one of the things that's lacking in our community when we encounter young people, not to be afraid of them and have fear as opposed to engage in dialogue. So I just give a shout out to Jackie
Mm-hmm.
because you have no fear. You're fearless, and she understands the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Brother Smith Bay, Brother Fred, because they are conscious men. Sister Sheila, Sister Ruth Ann, former educator who's also tried to do the same thing, and just a network of people. And I always ask you all to ask your friends, family, neighbors, co-workers to tune into this program. Have pencil and paper handy because you never know when you're going to write down some worthwhile and useful information.
Absolutely. And I gotta say good morning to Sam as well, and to Katrina. You know, we have a guest with us this morning. I'm going to say I got two hosts. What comes after co-host? Is it tri-host?
Yes, yeah.
Anyway, um, some of you know who she is. There may be some new folks tuned in who don't know. And her name is Deetta Wilcoxon. And as all of you are aware and are actively involved, I hope, this is another election season. This one is a local election season. Oh, local election season. And there are so many local tricks that are being played, you would be surprised. Well, I know some of you wouldn't be surprised, but too many of you would be surprised. So, in the meantime, we want you to know that this particular election season is for the mayor and for the clerk and for the council and for police commission. Now, there's a trick for you for sure. Anyway, Deetta Wilcoxon is our guest this morning, and she is a candidate certified, unless they pull some other trick this year, certified for city clerk for the city of Detroit. I want to thank you for being with us this
Thank you so
morning.
much for having me. I so appreciate it.
Well, tell us just who is Deetta Wilcoxon?
Whoa, who is Deetta Wilcoxon?
Yeah.
I have a long history of fighting for the residents of the city of Detroit, in the city of Detroit, and particularly in the office of city clerk. I have fought this clerk for, wow, over 12 years. She's been in office 12 years. We fought her for 12 years because of irregularities in our vote tally, because of irregularities at our precincts, irregularities in our AV ballots. Irregularities.
Yes.
Some of us have said that they are sinister in nature. The state says, despite an exhaustive audit, we point to human error and we cannot find anything fraudulent or sinister. We don't agree with the state's assessment.
That's what they say about the mayor. He doesn't do anything crooked like the last mayor. He just makes mistakes.
Well, you're right.
Mistakes.
You're
Oh
right.
my
You're
God.
right.
When do we move from mistakes to criminality? We'll go here.
Well, it depends on who's making the assessment, it seems,
Ah.
and who the players are.
Oh.
If we want to label people criminal, we label them criminal. We castigated, of course, Jackie Curry when she was in office for doing things that pale in comparison to the kinds of things that this clerk has done
Oh, yes.
to the residents of the city of Detroit.
Oh,
And
yes.
it is extremely bothersome to me, because African Americans in this country, as you well know from a historical perspective, have had the full unfettered right to vote for just over 50 years. And for that right to be abused by this clerk for 12 of those just slightly over 50 years takes a substantial amount of voting power and political respect, I think, from the residents of the city of Detroit. And that's what we have said about our candidacy, which by the way, has not been totally certified because the clerk's office has 10 days after the last filing day to certify. So that's 10 business days, which would take us through Wednesday of this week for the final verdict, if you will, to come from her office. But she's done everything within her power to push people off the ballot. And I just think that the clerk's office ought to be about access to the ballot, as opposed to making certain that people do not have access to the ballot. Needless to say, she removed my name from the ballot in the last election cycle. We fought her successfully in Third Circuit Court. She took an immediate appeal using the taxpayers' money to the Michigan Court of Appeals, our second highest court in the state. We beat her there. So
we could sue her for a refund. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Definitely.
Now, we do need a refund based on the number of election cycles we're in. There have been complete debacles of the entire process. But getting back to the issue of pushing people off the ballot, she pushed John Conyers off the ballot. There was a young lady who was filing with me on the last day for filing who had over 300 signatures. She wanted to run for police commissioner. And she had not filled out any of the pages in the circular section indicating who circulated the nominating petitions. Now, she was there. Her circulars were sitting in the lobby with her, and she submitted these petitions, and the clerk staff said, none of these signatures are valid in light of the fact that there's no circular
The signature on the bottom of the page.
provision that has been completed. And they said, we can't give these back to you for you to complete them because we've touched them.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Oh,
And I
my.
looked at them and I said,
Touched.
I
With the
said,
hand.
please explain to me what authority you're citing. What is the statute? What is the ordinance that you're relying on? I said, because it's now 20 minutes of 4. This young lady has 20 minutes before the filing deadline. Why can't
20
she
minutes to
complete
file.
the bottom portion? I said, young lady, where are your circulars? She said, they're sitting right over there. So she pointed to 2 people. She's standing there in a river of tears, pleading with them. And they said, well, I'm sorry, we've touched them. They never gave me an ordinance number or a statute number which would give them the authority to do what it is that they had done. And the young lady was relegated in her mind to being a write-in candidate. So those are the kinds of instances that go on in the clerk's office that rob the residents of the city of Detroit of access to the ballot. And so our candidacy is surrounded, if you will, with a desire to make certain that people in this town have access to the ballot and that political respect is restored to the residents of the city of Detroit, because I'm persuaded that the manufactured bankruptcy, the conversion of all of our assets over to authorities of which we have no control over, the theft of pensions, the theft of Belial, all of those thefts, if you will, happened as a result of the complete and utter political disrespect that the residents of the city of Detroit have. And it originates in the clerk's office because we're not turning out numbers. When you turn out numbers, people politically respect you when you have the ability to name the governor in this state. And we know that Detroit can do that because we have the prime example when Mayor Coleman Young Sr. was in office and he directed Detroiters not to vote for James Blanchard. We didn't. James Blanchard did not win. He lost. That's
Right.
pure, raw political power, not addressing the rightness or the wrongness of the mayor's strategy. The fact of the matter is we proved that Detroit can name a governor in this state. We go
Right.
from being able to name a governor in this state to being totally disrespected by 3 consecutive governors. Makes
Right.
no sense.
Now, stop right there. The word authority. The word authority. You know what? I need to publish a dictionary. Because the word authority in my dictionary is a private group of people who use our public tax dollars for the benefit of their personal friends. And it appears to me that after a show of strength by Mayor Coleman Alexander Young, there were those who went back in the corner in the dark and said, how we going to beat this blank line? Fill it in. And they came up with all of these ideas, such as authorities. Aha. As soon as that's Mayor Alexander Young, was elected in 1973, they started working back in the corner in the dark. And they came up with a building authority. Oh, what did that do? The building authority began to collect the taxes. And where did we have most of our buildings? Downtown. And in 1978, they came with the Downtown Development Authority. And folks used to think that DDD days just talked about the sales that were going on around here. But oh no, the DDA was not about sales. It was about the Downtown Development Authority, which again corralled tax dollars for their personal friends. And recently, they have expanded the boundaries of the DDA, which used to be from the river to 375 freeway and from I-75 to the Lodge freeway. All of the property in there. Now they have expanded it to include the new neighborhood, which is called Midtown.
Exactly.
Does that mean that we live uptown? And uptown Saturday night is a swinging time. But anyway, back to the facts. Now they have done a new trick. They are giving a Tifa district to Dan Gilbert. Did you hear about that? For those of you who didn't hear about that, the Hudson's Authority, that's what they should have called it. But anyway, the land where the Hudson's building used to sit is now being moved over into Dan Gilbert's possession, his territory. And he's going to have his own Tifa district. I don't know how anybody let that get out. But that means that when he continues and finishes this new site, the money that is collected in that little space of land is going to belong to Dan Gilbert. Imagine that. We have a caller? Oh, okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Yes, this is Tyrone over the internet. Can you hear me?
Oh, very well, Tyrone.
Yeah.
I started to say
The clerk have totally took the voters' rights from the people, but don't forget the one who engineered it all was Daniel Baxter, her deputy. He's the one is the real crook. But you know, here they took it. National Registration Act says you can't take people off the voters' roll until federal elections, and you got to have so many years, and you got to send them so many mails. Well, she was taking them off at all elections and put them back on when she wanted to, and that's how she took the voters' rights from the people of Detroit. I gave it to John Conyers. He never did do nothing with it. But let me say something. You're talking about downtown development. Downtown, they are moving now. Once they get to schools, they're going to implement the 1983 territory can detach from Detroit. They're going to detach completely from Detroit. Once they can they got to destroy, they already destroyed the school system and changed the name to community district schools. Then you're going to get a whole new city with a school district, took our library, took everything. They didn't take anything. The city council, those crooks gave it to them, and they're going to be seceding, and what we got to do to stop them, no more development of housing. We don't need, our interest is not to repopulate. In the black community, is not to repopulate Detroit. Our interest is to give jobs to these young people, so bring the business in. No more apartments. No more. And we got to tell the city clerk when they do it, they are committing violent crime, and we got to spread the community. They're doing violent crime, and they might have to use their guns on the mass of the people if they continue to do what they're doing. I'm going to hang up because I can't hear you.
Oh, well, okay. Thank you for calling. Actually, we weren't saying anything for you to hear, Tyrone. But in the meantime, maybe those of us who uh, are left can become a part of Highland Park. How about that?
Highland Park has
call
been
her.
taken over too, so
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know. You
they
all are going to be pushed into the river, I
well,
guess.
there there is conversation about dismantling Highland Park and making it a part of Detroit. I have heard those conversations as well. However, maybe it should be the other way around, because if the rest of Detroit becomes a part of Highland Park, then it'll be twice as big, if not more. But anyway, what okay, we got a caller, Deetta. Yes.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Yes, my name is Dave, and I'm hearing you on. Yeah, hello.
Yes, we're here.
Yeah, yeah. My name is Dave, and I'm hearing you on Comcast 91. Okay,
Thank you, caller.
I had to say this. I'm a 50-year-old guy, and I'm listening to this. Okay, I have a. I work at one of the plants. I work at Chrysler,
Okay.
and most of the people that I work with, they already left the city. So as a young guy like me, who don't have the strength and the mental, the toughness and the smartness that y'all have, what can you do to try to educate people to fight for what's going on here? And I'm going to hang up and stop there.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you asked that question, because Hood Research gathers as much information as we can, and we share it with those who tune into this program on Monday at 9 a.m. And we have a meeting that takes place on the second Saturday of each month at the Dabo Center, which is on Grand River and Wyoming. And this coming Saturday at 2 p.m., we will be sharing a lot of information. So I encourage you to join us. The address of the Dabo Center is 12048 Grand River. And we're going to have a lot of participants with us this coming Saturday. And we're certainly hoping that our guest this morning will join us on Saturday as well. That's Ms. Deetta Wilcoxon, who is campaigning for city clerk. And the reason that she's campaigning for city clerk is because she has a better idea. Who said that? Henry Ford, right? Anyway, I just borrowed somebody else's slogan. Anyway,
Well, they steal everything from us. You might as
Hey.
well borrow something.
got that right. Yes. And she's done a lot of research on what has taken place within our election department, and is dedicated to help improve the process, which it desperately needs improving. The BD, you were going to say something?
Well, I was just going to ask Ms. Wilcoxon if she would give information on how people could support her.
Well, currently we have a web address, and that web address is www.deetawilcoxon.com. So it's D as in David, E as in Everett, T as in Tom, T as in Tom, A as in Apple, W as in well, I as in Iris, L as in Larry, C as in Charlie, O as in Oscar, X as in X-ray, O as in Oscar, N as in Nancy.com. I can also be reached at 313-587-5683. And
Give that number
Yeah, once again, please.
Three.
That's a whole lot simpler than the
Three.
website.
313-587-5683.
Okay. Now,
And there's also a PayPal option on the website.
okay.
We need all of the donations that we can get. The establishment, as you all know, has offered me money and an endorsement, and I rejected both. And when I rejected both, they sent me a message that they were going to flood my race with known named individuals. They did that. They are pumping money into other people, trying to defeat the people's effort. We are a progressive movement to become city clerk. because we want to make certain that every vote in the city of Detroit that's cast is actually counted. And we want to make certain that every person that the residents of the city of Detroit elect are actually placed into office. They're installed, they're sworn in, rather than there being this underlying current in the city of Detroit that everyone downtown was selected. They were not elected by the people. And so the establishment fears the people, and we are the people's
Absolutely,
candidate.
yes,
I was
mean-
drafted by the people. I'm running on a people's platform, and they have dubbed me the people's candidate, and I wholeheartedly embrace it.
Yes, and we are trusting that the people will come out in big numbers on this election primary day, which in August.
Yes.
August. Remember, everybody, August. You got to vote 2 times. You know the Miss America contest, and you have to do the runner-up. So in order to get the runners-up, you have to come out in August. Weather's going to be real nice.
Yes.
And you know, you mentioned selection. Selection has also taken place. You mentioned the administration being afraid. It appears that there is some fear because there is a vacancy in the police commission. And the administration, for those of you who don't know, administration refers to the mayor of the city of Detroit. The mayor of the city of Detroit has appointed a person to fill the vacancy of the police commission. Now, mind you, they got 11 members. So if there's one vacancy, the world is not going to hell in a handbasket. But anyhow, he has appointed a Republican
Oh my God.
acting person. You know we have Republicans who pretend to be Democrats.
Yes,
You do know
yes,
that. Okay.
yes, we do.
Well, he has appointed a Republican to fill the vacancy of the police commission. And that means that Bill Davis, who is a legitimate candidate for the police commission, is to have this Republican campaigning against him, who shall remain nameless. We do not need Republicans doing anything for us, especially seeing as how they have been working against us so far. And the police commission has approved tasers. You know, and folks say, well, tasers are safer than what? Tasers kill people. They're not moving as fast with body cameras because police kill people too, as you've noticed nationwide. Anyway, go ahead. All right.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Yes, good morning. This is Barbara. How are you?
Fine.
Good
Thanks
morning.
for calling.
Real quick, because you guys are on a roll and it's a good topic, just wanted to share a couple of things. The budget that's been extended to the fall should have gone into effect last October.
Oh, wait. Stop, Barbara. Stop.
Okay.
This is our commercial break. And
Okay.
Barbara's going to share some information that is national. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. The budget she's talking about is the federal budget. Go ahead.
Yes, the federal budget.
Go ahead. Continue.
Oh, okay. The federal budget that has been extended to the fall should have gone into effect last October. Speaker Paul Ryan has not passed an approved budget since he's been Speaker of the House. The other thing is the U.S. Postal Service, despite the claims that they're constantly losing money and they need to be privatized, last year they made $610 million. The year before that, they made $1.2 billion the year before. And so it's just part of that old RevCon, talk that Darrell Issel did in 2006, had them to raise enough money for the next 75 years to pay the budget, when people retire, for people who haven't even been born yet. I think they wanted that money sitting there so when they take it over, they can take that money. The last thing I'll tell you, I want to share a book with you, and it's called White Rage, The Unspoken Truth of Our Racial Divide, and that's by Dr. Carol Anderson. She's the chair of African American Studies at Emory University. and she just won the National Book Critics Circle Award for criticism.
White
The book we
Rage.
might want to check out.
Absolutely. White Rage is the name of the book.
White Rage, yes, and Dr. Carol Anderson is the author.
Carol Anderson. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
that sounds very
Definitely
good.
look
Thank
into
you
that,
so
yeah.
much. Oh, yeah.
Let's get back to that. I wish I was enjoying what I was hearing.
Oh, okay. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
Come back and put on that. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
I'm on Comcast Cable.
Oh, thank you for calling, Sharon.
You hear me?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, yeah. I want to say to Miss Wilcoxon, she has my support for
Thank
city
you.
clerk.
Thank
But I
you.
wanted to talk about the post office. Now, where I live in my area, we haven't so much mail being distributed around here. No, the internet sales. No, people be on the internet doing their ordering all kind of things. Now we have so much mail and deliveries coming in through the United States Post Office that sometimes we have more than one carrier coming more than once a day.
Wow.
That's what I wanted to call and say.
Wow. Yeah.
I know Post Office they really making money now.
Wow. Okay.
Yep, people
good
know
to know.
ordering stuff off the internet.
That's right.
Yep.
Because the catalog, remember the catalog sales from Amazon and other whatever.
Right.
So they're delivered. Oh, I'm glad you made that point.
goodness.
Yes. Yes. And not only that, Sharon, but the new hirees to the post office are making less than the current employees. Where somebody might make $28 an hour, the new employees might make 12 or 8 or 10 or whatever. Whatever the minimum wage is. No, it went up to 10. What did it go up to? $10.80 or something. So the new employees that are being hired in are making the current minimum wage, which means the post office is not losing anything. Thank you so much for making that point.
You are welcome. Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank
Yeah.
you again for your support.
Catalog sales were, when Montgomery Ward's was in existence, they had a little place where you could go and pick up your whatever you ordered through catalog. And of course, the retailers began to expand, and people stopped ordering by catalog. Now they're back to catalog. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Which means the post office is not losing anything.
Hello.
You're on the air, caller.
I cannot hear you if I am the caller. Am I the one you're talking with?
Yes, Val.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm going to have to call back because I'm not. Well, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm calling to say I'm enjoying everything that you have aired thus far. It is absolutely accurate. I would like to invite everyone to this Saturday, 13th Congressional District meeting, especially those individuals who are concerned that the 13th Congressional District has endorsed prematurely, way before the end of the petition cutoff date of the 25th of April. On April the 6th, Jonathan Kinlock and his statutory committee endorsed, without any member involvement, Mike Duggan for mayor, Brenda Jones for city council at large, Janae Ayers, city council at large, and Regina Ross for District 7. We, as members of good standing and officers of the 13th, feel like this is just the beginning, and we're going to ask all of your listening audience, 13th or 14th, to show up at that meeting at 10 o'clock, the executive board meeting portion. It's very important that you get to the executive board meeting and make a statement. That the meeting will unfortunately be held in Westland at the Westland City Hall, 36300 Warren Road, Westland, Michigan, and that's 10 o'clock Saturday, the 13th of April.
Okay.
And I'm going to hang up and listen in on my computer. Thank you.
Okay. The 13th district meeting is this coming Saturday, which is May 13th. May 13th, 10 a.m. at the Westland City Hall. It is strange that you would have someone who is the chair of the 13th district, which is under Congressman John Conyers, by the way, making dictatorial moves. Having that's about these people who go and have meetings under the table in the corner in the dark. Oh wow. And they come out and they tell you who is going to be endorsed by the district. And the process is candidate sends in information to be interviewed, after which the endorsement committee meets, and the endorsement committee is chaired by a woman whose name is Regina Randall, Dr. Regina Randall. So for her authority over the endorsement committee to be taken by the chair of the 13th district, isn't that special? Then has a meeting and tells his board who is going to be endorsed. I wonder who gave that directive. But the process is the endorsement committee interviews you. That would include our clerk candidate, DeEtta Wilcoxon. And they come up with their selected choice, present that to the full body at the meeting on this Saturday, May 13th, for the body to vote on. But apparently this has not happened. So, you know, somebody said, I'm king and you're nothing. So that means that Dr. Regina Randall is queen over nothing? Special activities going on there. But this Saturday, May 13th, 13th District is meeting at Westland City Hall. Now, tell me some of the changes that you would put into place to give us a fairer election department, a more honest election department, a more dependable election department. Miss DeEtta Wilcoxon.
The current clerk has placed the blame for the quote-unquote human error that the state uncovered in the lapse of her senior staff members. She has said that they are, for all practical purposes, too old to learn new technology. They're too old to learn how to do the job in today's world.
They didn't look old to her when she hired them.
Well, her answer to their aged abilities is to put them out to pasture.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to use a different approach. In the last election cycle, we had a 5-point plan, and the first prong of that plan was staff training. And it's so interesting to us as a team that the issues that we addressed 4 years ago, are the same issues that are pressing today. Staffing, transparency, access to the office, to the public, a massive get out the vote measure. We're going to make certain that we take the skills of the seniors that are in that office and we figure out where there are deficiencies, if there are deficiencies, and we're going to address those deficiencies.
Now, you pointed that out to her how many years ago?
4 years ago.
And she still...
Well, she says she's going to do it now. You know, we get a lot of that from quote-unquote politicians, elected officials. They say, oh, I didn't do it 4 years ago. Give me 4 more years and I'll get it done. And then in 4 years, they ask for another 4 years to get it done. I heard someone on radio say yesterday,
about the neighborhoods.
Yes, that the mayor needs 8 years to 12 years to turn the city around.
Oh, really?
That is, in effect, saying, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm finding my way around in the dark, and hopefully by the end of 12 years, I will have found my way out of darkness, and I'll bring you, the residents, along with me.
Oh.
What we need is someone who is going to be able to hit the ground running, understanding what it takes to educate an individual in the intricacies of that person's job, understanding that there is no need to bridge an additional gap between seniors and our young people, but rather having them understand that they are better as a unit working together.
But wait, wasn't there someone who said elected officials have a right to run for re-election? What do you say to that?
Well, I did hear that comment, and I was disturbed by the use of the adjective right. I don't understand how a person has a right to public office if you are, in fact, elected, not selected to that office. If you are elected, you do not have a right. It is a privilege to serve the residents who actually vote you into office. Now, if you have a right to the office,
why are you running?
you don't need to run. You're not only the heir apparent, you are the person who's going to serve in that position. There's no getting around your actually taking the oath of office and filling that position. So I was actually very disturbed when I heard this individual on air saying that the mayor has a right to 4 more years. The mayor has the ability to serve 4 more years if he is in fact elected by the people of the city of Detroit. If he's elected, I have every well wish for him, because the people of the city of Detroit will have spoken, which is what our democracy requires, is that the people speak.
Unless there's a mistake. Okay. What did you say? What?
You know, it's a very sad state of affairs, and the fact that she would deflect her own responsibility by claiming that the seniors, because I've heard various conversations about this, is disturbing to me. And I will say this, prior to her ever becoming clerk, I remember meeting her during a NAACP meeting down at Cobo Hall where she was passing out flyers, and I just observed her incompetence at that point. And I have to say that nothing's changed. I hate to say that.
Wow.
And I mean, it's apparent. You know, it's not me just saying that because it's a personal thing. It's an observation. And we've observed through the prior elections that nothing has been done right. So to deflect your responsibility and feel like now, and again, your suggestion, which is, it's unfortunate, but I've always noticed that people in authority feel like someone who suggests something to them is an insubordinate person. So therefore, whatever you suggest, how could you tell me? And I'm running things, and I know what's going on, but, you know, the facts speak for themselves. We've got a line full of callers.
This the amen corner? Okay, let's go. All right.
Hello, caller. You on the air? Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Hello, this is Asia.
Thanks for calling.
Hi, Miss Wilcoxon.
Good morning.
Hi, Miss Theo.
Happy Monday.
Hello. I just wanted to say that John Conyers endorsed Duggan. So that's the surprise that it's in his congressional district.
So
and with the congressional.
So do you think somebody is telling Congressman John Conyers what to do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Go ahead.
And with the congressional district, what they did was not even right to do, for them to even give an endorsement like that.
Against the bylaws, most likely, right?
You said the bylaws?
Yeah. The district has bylaws. The state Democratic Party has bylaws. It seems like nobody is observing them.
Oh, okay. Also, I would like to know, Ms. Thompson, where can I get some more of your city clerk reform plan cards?
We have we're all over the city. So if you are at any of the community meetings, we're going to be at the water rescue meeting this evening at 5. We're going to be over at Galilee for the automobile discussion at 7. We don't have a physical office at the moment. So
Can you drop some at the Coleman headquarters?
Can I drop them where?
At the Coleman headquarters, city residents?
Do you have authority for us to drop them there?
I mean, I could pass them around. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. I could ask.
His office is very near to my home, so I could drop them there. I would just hope that there would be someone there that would be receptive to taking them. But yes, I can see to that happening.
Give her your phone number so you all can coordinate.
That is a good idea. 313
Mhm.
58.
Hold on, wait one moment.
Okay.
Wait one moment. Let me go get my.
Okay.
The meeting didn't you say have pen and paper handy? You want to jot down?
She just tuned in. She wasn't
Oh,
listening earlier.
okay.
I want to give her an out.
313-587-5683.
That's correct.
That's for anybody else listening.
587.
56.
567.
No. Start all over again.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's start again. 587 5683.
Okay. All righty. And we'll be calling you.
Thank you so much.
after
I
you get off.
appreciate you so much. This is the People's Campaign, and it's going to take all of us to get this done. We are up against a formidable foe, but we can defeat that foe.
We're against somebody who
I
makes
know.
mistakes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling. Next.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
This is Renee from Pontiac,
Thanks for
and
calling,
I work
Renee.
by the internet.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Okay, I've got information next week also at 10 o'clock. It's the 14th executive meeting, and the general body meets at 11 o'clock. The last time I looked, they said it was at your Northwest Activity Center on Myers Road, and that's where it is. So all that's happening at the same time. Also, I believe it was last week that all the endorsement letters were supposed to be in by mail. You can't send them in, but that was last week, so you can't send the endorsement letter in because their deadline was last week. And I also heard on another show from somebody else, and maybe somebody could look into it, and still you good to finding out things, that Jonathan Kinlock was in Douglas' campaign prior to endorsing him. So I don't know, but that's from another show that I was listening to. So, yeah, it's dirty down there. I mean, y'all have a head full. And all I have to say, I'm in Coleman Young campaign, vote Coleman Alexander Young II for mayor of Detroit. Because y'all being gentrified, that's all it's about. And the people that live in the city need a mayor that really lives from Detroit, that's from Detroit. And I mean, it's sad. It's sad. And that train down there is awful. It's terrible. Right? It's on the same track as the car, that M1 thing. It's going to be a mess. Okay, that's all the information I have. But good luck, Miss Wilcoxon, and I'll talk to you later, Miss.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
you.
calling, Renee.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, the M1 rolls on Friday. Next.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
How you doing? This is Yakanan. I'm viewing you on Channel 91 in Detroit.
Thanks for calling.
I'd like to concur with the last callers with everything they've said, as well as you guys. Good morning to everybody as well. The M1 rail is horrible. This is when summertime gets here, you will see the results of this catastrophe. It's going to be horrible during the rush hours, going to work, getting off work. It's going to be a mess. Number two, I'd like for the Detroiters who are working these civil jobs to make it mandatory to start training their children to take these positions. You know, Jews don't, they don't They don't hug other people. Mexicans, they don't hug other people. Germans, they don't hug. But it's only us. I've never seen a Black Panther hug. I don't have anything against white people. I got white friends, but a Black Panther doesn't hug a white person. Come on, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's getting worse and worse here in the city, and it's time that we start training our children to step into these positions that we are holding. It's time that we get back to this, having children so that they can preserve these things that we hold so precious. The art museum and, the water and the resources that we have. Our children are the ones who we must train up to be responsible for these things in the future. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling. The M1 rail that he talks about, it's been reported it goes 7 miles an hour.
Oh, my God.
7 miles an hour. Okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name? How are you viewing us?
Happy Monday, Sly Soul. Just got in, and I know we all got to go.
Yeah.
Listen, can we get Charlie Duff back on the show so he can continue to blow up the white crime that they silently make go blind? Thank you for taking my call.
All right. We'll contact him and see what's up.
Last caller. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name? How are you viewing us? And a brief comment or statement, please.
My name is Miss Person. I'm the Eastside Lady. I'm calling regards of the meeting this week Saturday that I didn't know anything about it. And I'm so sick of them having these meetings out there in white folks' neighborhood where we can't get our people to come to the meetings. It's a shame. See, they should have one place where they have these meetings for the 13th district. But we go way out, and they know half the people are not going to come out there Saturday, so they go put who they want on that list to run for something. And I hope everybody that's listening to this program, if you're in the 13th district, make sure you get out there so we can get these people out of those jobs that they be getting every time there's somebody running. Everybody on the city council will be on that darn thing, and that's not fair to the people that's working out there. And Theo, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All those people that works at the 13th district, they work downtown too, some of them. So we got to get them off there. And if y'all ain't going to voice y'all's opinion, there's no sense in me going, because I'm going to tell them they're wrong. They're wrong. We are the 13th district. We're supposed to be picking those people out, not them. Not them that works downtown at the city county building. And I'm sick of them because they don't do nothing for us. So, Theo, make sure you be there and get some other people that's in the 13th district that they've been there a long time so we can vote them down. They don't need to be on those things. They don't need to be there. I will be there, and I don't give a darn about them. I don't care nothing about them, so I'm going to vote against them. So make sure you have somebody that you want to run to be there so I can help y'all out.
All right.
And thank you very much for taking my call.
Thank you for calling in. Ms. Deanna Wilcoxon, we are down to the last, 2 minutes of our show. Closing remarks, please.
I would just like to say thank you for having me on this morning. And I'd like to say to the residents of the city of Detroit that Team Wilcoxon is not a Johnny-come-lately or a Jane-come-lately to the fight for equity in the city clerk's office in the city of Detroit. We've been on this path for the last 12 years. We have fought the current clerk through Third Circuit Court, the Michigan Court of Appeals. We've defeated her in both instances. We fought her to the governor of the state, Secretary of State, the Attorney General, and the Director of Elections for the state of Michigan. This fight is a fight which is worth fighting. We are not in this fight to start fighting this clerk. We did not look at the fact that she has been proven on a national and international level to be incompetent and decide that we wanted to run. We have been in this fight, as I said, for the last 12 years. We are in this fight now to close the deal. We own the history relative to the fight for equality and the ability of Detroiters to vote in this city in unhampered fashion. I'm Deanna Wilcoxon, contender for Detroit City Clerk. I need your vote. We are going to win this election on the ground for the residents of the city of Detroit. I need you to come out August the 8th to make certain that we are in the general election fight, and I need you to come out again in November so that we can close this deal and this chapter of abuse that has been heaped upon the residents of the city of Detroit. Enough already.
All right. And as I try to say each Monday when we're here, it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. We at Hood Research gather as much information as we can to help us all make better informed decisions. We look forward to you joining us this Saturday as we learn at the Dabo Center, 12048 Grand River on the corner of Wyoming. The telephone number for Hood Research is area code 248-234-2371. And the meeting this Saturday begins at 2 p.m. Join us, won't you, the meeting?
If you want to be nothing, do nothing. But the only problem with doing nothing is you never know when you're finished. Be at the meeting, 2 o'clock this Saturday coming, and make sure that family, friends are registered to vote. This is critical.
All right. Peace. Tune in again next week, 9 a.m.